The Political Thought of Niccolò Machiavelli, A New Science of Politics. Before Machiavelli, political philosophy had largely been an extension of moral philosophy or theology. Thinkers such as Augustine, Aquinas, and even the humanists of the early Renaissance described politics as the pursuit of justice, the ordering of society according to virtue and natural law. Rulers were supposed to govern as moral exemplars, guiding their people toward the good life. Machiavelli broke this tradition. He observed politics as it actually functioned, not as moralists wished it would. He dared to strip away illusions, to say openly what rulers secretly did: deceive, manipulate, and use violence. His political thought was thus revolutionary. He is often called the father of modern political science, for he founded a discipline based on observation, evidence, and pragmatic advice, not moral sermons. At the center of Machiavelli's political vision lie two concepts: virtù and fortuna. Virtù does not mean virtue in the Christian sense of piety or humility. It means energy, boldness, skill, and the capacity to shape events. A prince with virtù acts decisively, adapts quickly, and uses cunning and force as needed. Fortuna is fortune, chance, the unpredictable currents of history. Fortune can favor or ruin a ruler, like a river that floods or recedes. Machiavelli insists that fortune controls about half of human affairs, but the other half is in our power. And it is virtù that allows us to resist or harness fortune. The dance between virtù and fortuna explains the rise and fall of states. Cesare Borgia, for example, possessed immense virtù, but when fortune turned against him with his father's death, his dominion collapsed. Perhaps the most shocking aspect of Machiavelli's thought is his separation of politics from conventional morality. For him, the first duty of a ruler is to preserve the state. Traditional virtues, honesty, mercy, generosity, are admirable but dangerous when practiced without limit. A prince must sometimes be cruel to maintain order, deceitful to outwit enemies, or parsimonious to conserve resources. This does not mean Machiavelli celebrates evil for its own sake. Rather, he insists that the ends of political stability and security may justify means that ordinary morality condemns. He writes, "A prince who wishes to maintain his state must learn how not to be good, and to use or not use this knowledge according to necessity." Although The Prince is his most famous work, Machiavelli's heart lay with the Republic. In his discourses on Livy, he extolled the Roman Republic, arguing that liberty and civic participation made a state more enduring than any monarchy. Republics, with their balance of institutions, could mobilize the energy of the people and check the ambitions of the powerful. Yet Machiavelli was no romantic democrat. He understood the dangers of factions, the instability of popular passions, and the need for strong leadership. His political thought is therefore deeply ambivalent. While he admired Republican liberty, he acknowledged that in times of crisis, a strong prince could save the state. The letter to Lorenzo de' Medici, the prince begins not with a philosophical argument, but with a dedication letter to Lorenzo de' Medici, Duke of Urbino. The letter is revealing, both in tone and purpose. Machiavelli, recently dismissed and disgraced, sought to win back the favor of the Medici. In the letter, he offers Lorenzo the fruit of his experience, not jewels or fine horses, but the knowledge he had acquired in years of diplomacy and study. He humbly presents his little book as a gift, hoping that it may be welcomed by the new ruler of Florence. In essence, the letter says, "Others bring you material treasures. I bring you the treasure of my mind, the distilled wisdom of history and politics." Though some read this as pure flattery, the letter also frames the boldness of what follows. Machiavelli knew he was offering unconventional, even dangerous advice. By couching it as a gift, he softened its impact. Yet in reality, he was handing Lorenzo a mirror of power, a manual on how to rule without illusions. Across his works, Machiavelli's political thought can be distilled into a few core principles. Politics must be studied as it is, not as it ought to be. Moral ideals are often masks for power. The preservation of the state is the highest law. Security and stability justify actions that private morality may condemn. Virtù and Fortuna shape history. Human agency matters, but but chance is always present. Arms and institutions are the backbone of power. A state without its own army or civic structure is fragile. Liberty is precious but precarious. Republics can endure, but they require vigilance, participation, and sometimes harsh measures to survive. Machiavelli's political thought continues to divide readers. Is he a teacher of evil, as some have claimed? Or is he a clear-eyed realist who stripped politics of hypocrisy? Perhaps he is both. What cannot be denied is his enduring influence. From absolute monarchs to revolutionaries, from the founding fathers of America to modern strategists, Machiavelli's insights have shaped how leaders understand the mechanics of power. And it all began with a Florentine secretary, fallen from grace, offering a slim book and a humble letter to a Medici prince. Like and subscribe for more history and culture.